Liberty County has by no doubt taken Roblox by storm. Though it may seem like a relatively small game in comparison to front page games such as Adopt Me, Welcome to Bloxburg, and other ones of the likes, that doesn't diminish the immense growth and milestones that ERLC and PRC as a whole have achieved. Today, I want to take you through the journey of ERLC and PRC from the beginning. This may be a longer video than usual, but it runs through the entire history of PRC and all of their important milestones. Alright everybody, welcome back to another video, and this is a little bit of a different video, I know, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I put a lot of time into researching and writing down everything that I could find of the history of ERLC, and I wanted to compile all into one video so that you too can know the history of ERLC in case you're a new player or in case you just didn't know. So enjoy today's video. I'm gonna just go straight to it, and hopefully you enjoy. Liberty County was started in late 2017 to early 2018, though not publicly released until the 2nd of November of 2018. Now, Liberty County at this time was a small game, only offering 3 teams and not having a large player count. Something interesting that I found back in the early stages of the game is that they had initially hired department heads for the entirety of the PD, FD, and Sheriff's Office team. From what I could find, the leaders of these teams, for the police department, it was a guy called Chess44, or Cheese44, I don't entirely know how to pronounce that. For fire department, it was Kerberty, and for sheriff's office, it was Denico. And I mean, I don't know who these people are, but they were the heads of the department as the game's early stages, took form. 28 days after the game's release, it reached the game's page with a player count of 21 players, though the increase in players was consistent from that point. On the 3rd of December 2018, ERLC for the first time reached 100 plus concurrent players, which also boosted it to the game's front page. At this point, there weren't any major milestones other than the ones that I had previously stated, and it functioned as in today's ERLC a private server would, in training for PD and roleplay taking place within the game. Though ERLC wasn't a large game, there were some people that showed up at the time that we know and love today. For example, Lost made his first appearance as part of the team on the 9th of December promoting the official PRC Twitter, which at the time only had 2 tweets and 3 followers. Furthermore, on the 11th of December, Sean made his first appearance on the team showcasing the new thumbnail in the announcements channel of the PRC server. Now that they had a community manager and another coder for the game, they were able to push new features. One that we still see today, on the 12th of December, the first showcase of the ATM robbery was shown and then released on the 23rd of December. With an increase in interest in the game, and with both PRC and ERLC gaining a loyal fan base, the game amassed 50,000 visits and 10,000 favorites on December 13th. Just 2 days after that, they increased that to 100,000 visits and just over 10,000 game sales, with an increase of favorites by 5,000. Since ERLC was gaining popularity quickly, the developers would consistently push out updates for a period of time, daily updates, which recently we've only seen for the Police Week updates. On the 29th of December, FD received their first major update implementing fire to buildings and the engine and heavy rescue fire truck, which added a whole lot more to the game and a lot of more interest to the game as well. Straying from the milestones and updates for a second, I also found this list of bugs from the 30th of December, which just is amusing to read. Feel free to pause and read it. But it was just, the reason it was amusing to read is because it would be hard to imagine that in today's ERLC. Obviously, it's not there. But it's just amusing to me to read what the bugs were and then just try and imagine them in today's ERLC. No other major milestones were kind of, surpassed over the new year. Obviously, they wished everyone a new year in the server, and then, they started moving on to things. On January 8th was when the developers of PRC made their biggest mistake. They leaked and added the praise. God, I hate praises. Moving on. Something interesting I did find was on the 10th of January, they leaked a vehicle that is now no longer in the game. I couldn't find a reason that it was removed, but it was the GMC Sierra truck, which I feel like nowadays a lot of people are actually asking for. Other than frequent updates, there wasn't much else interesting that happened in January of 2019, except for one thing. We reached 1 million total visits. And then not long after that, on the 3rd of February, we reached another milestone of 10,000 likes on the game. Again, moving forward into the March of 2019, still releasing frequent updates and interest increasing on the game, ERLC on March 10th of 2019 reached a massive milestone of then 2 million visits. Roughly 10 days after that, they reached another milestone of 10,000 Discord members. So this month, these couple months were a huge milestone, bound for ERLC and PRC as a whole. At this point, it was clear that ERLC was reaching insane numbers and very quickly growing a loyal fan base, and their growth showed that. On the 9th of April 2019, they reached 3 million visits just a mere month after hitting 2 million. Then 2 months after that, on June 5th, they reached an insane milestone of then 5 million game visits. This was when ERLC started becoming a well-known and enjoyable game, and the devs realized that. Looking to increase the game's popularity again and they then implemented a long-awaited update. It was on the 19th of June that they added the SWAT update to the game, giving a whole new perspective to the police team and a whole new factor of roleplay. And then again increased their popularity. With the current success of the game, Fergie was able to finally afford a vehicle that he'd been looking at for a while, which was the 2017 Camaro 2SS, I believe it was, which he announced he purchased on the 21st of July on his Twitter page. You can go back and actually find it there. It's pretty cool. Moving on from that, one of the things that was Liberty County's claim to fame, I suppose if you want to say it, was their own private server system, which allowed you to make and join a private server, not only be able to host, but participate in strict and more realistic roleplays. They implemented private servers on the 7th of August 2019, which again pushed their popularity among the Roblox community. With an increase in popularity, PRC managed to gain a lot of Discord members, and on the August 23rd, they reached a total of 1 million total messages within their primary chat alone. That wasn't their only milestone in this time frame. Just 16 days after that, they reached a milestone they were never likely expecting. 10 million game visits. As the months pass, it's nearing the first birthday of ERLC as a game, but of course, before that, it was Sean's birthday on the 10th of October. Happy late birthday, Sean. Back to ERLC's first birthday. ERLC's first birthday was an astounding day. To see what they had amassed over just 1 year was absolutely jaw-dropping. As of November 2nd, 2019, Liberty County had 13 million visits and over 275,000 game sales. After they reached that 1 year mark, they released an update that not only pushed the popularity again, but also started my career. On the 21st of December 2019, they released the DOT update, which was the first ever video of mine that got any sort of real traction, which threw my channel into the ringer for early content creators for ERLC, and again, pushed their popularity. With this update, on the 29th of January of 2020, just after the new year, they surpassed 20 million visits, which is a gobsmacking number to literally anyone who thinks about it. Their increasing growth continues over the next few months, so much so that on the 23rd of April, they passed 500,000 game sales, and less than a month past that, 100,000 likes. The next major update a few months later is likely what shot ERLC into the competitive top rating games of Roblox at this current time, which was their map expansion update. Released on the 2nd of October 2020, then pushed the game again into record highs for players. On the 3rd of November 2020, ERLC reached 69 million visits. I'm pretty sure you can understand why I thought it was important to mention that. In that same month, PRC launched their own merch store where they offered a variety of different products, from mugs to hoodies, mouse pads, stickers, absolutely everything. That was the month they released their merch store as well, which is really cool. Moving on from that into December of 2020, this is when PRC broke some important records. On the 17th, for the first time, they had 10,000 concurrent players, like 10,000 people in the game at one time. And then on the 26th, then passed 1 million channel views on their PRC official channel as well. Moving into the new year, PRC was rolling full force ahead and showed no signs of slowing down. On the 9th of February 2021, ERLC broke a record that would tell everyone that they had a successful game. They surpassed 100 million visits. 2 months after that, they released an update that was sworn never to be added. They added in helicopters, though they can't be player flown. It was still an update that went very much appreciated by their fan base. PRC shattered another record in 2021. On the 6th of June, they reached 100,000 Discord members. With the immense growth coming to ERLC and PRC as a whole, the developers then made a decision that would not only change ERLC forever, but something they could never come back from. On the 25th of June, 2021, ERLC went free. With the release of the summer update, which held revamped buildings on the map, several new features, jobs, vehicles, etc., ERLC was then free to play for everyone, and they reached a concurrent player base of, I think, just about 50,000 people at one time. That brings us up until today. The 22nd of July, 2021, ERLC currently has 173.5 million visits and 9,200 concurrent players, which at one point was a record-breaking number. It's clear that ERLC has gained popularity quickly across all of Roblox. Having both Sean and Fergie gone to a Roblox developer conference, been given several awards, furthermore, PRC and the PRC community as a whole shows no signs of slowing down. PRC has broken record after record, and it does not appear that it's going to stop. I do have something that I want to bring up. I asked Fergie a couple specific questions as well, because I figured that some of you might want to know the answers to them. And those questions were, why did you start working on ERLC and why? When did you realize that you had a successful and popular game? What was the hardest thing about owning ERLC as a whole? And was there ever a point that you nearly quit but decided to keep going? He replied to all of them. He says, to number 1, why did you start work on ERLC and why? He said he started work about a year before it was released, so late 2017 to early 2018. And he stopped developing for Firestone, which I believe is another Roblox community game thing that wasn't limited to a strict RP group. So he wanted to start developing a game that wasn't completely limited to a strict RP group. Second question was, when did you realize that you had a successful and popular game? He says, when it starts showing up on the front page and it had hundreds of players on it every single day. We've been high on the sorts, we've been high on the feature, top rated, players lover, most engaging, and recently popular and top earning. Question 3 was, what's the hardest thing about owning ERLC? He says, hard to say exactly, lots of difficult things. Making some more major decisions, like going F2P, and handling, like F2P, by the way, free to play, just in case you were wondering, and handling the community response, also managing the dev team to scale up as ERLC has grown over the years. And the fourth question was, is there ever a point you nearly quit but decided to keep going? He replies simply, never. He's never once gotten to a position where he wanted to quit and wanted to stop. He was always determined to make this game and continue it growing, which is honestly astounding to me. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I don't actually know how long this will end up being because I recorded for 20 minutes and messed up several times. So, you know, however long this ends up going, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something about the history of ERLC. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next video. Watch my other videos, of course. And I'll see you later.